When we watch a gameplay trailer, it often gives us a pretty good idea of whether a game will turn out to be a hit or a miss.
Yes.
Now, personally, I've never been a huge fan of real-time tactical games. So when I first laid eyes on Alien Dark Descent, my initial reaction was more like,
I mean, it's alright.
but when I finally got my hands on it, my tune changed to,
Hey, that's pretty good.
I mean, seriously, it's amazing, truly amazing. But it's not without its fair share of technical hiccups and some gameplay mechanics that didn't quite click with me. So what exactly are these issues, and why does Alien Dark Descent manage to shine despite them? Well, let's dive right into the video and see why.
I only need to know one thing. Where they are.
The story begins on a space station known as Pioneer Station. Things take a mysterious turn when an unknown cargo arrives in the station's cargo bay. To add to the intrigue, a rather suspicious character opens the cargo box, and what do we find? A Xenomorph.
Excuse me, sir. A what?
A Xenomorph.
Meanwhile, Maiko Hayes, the protagonist of Alien Dark Descent and the administrator of the station, got spooked about this cargo and decided to take matters into her own hands by launching an investigation. In the docking bay, Hayes stumbled upon the cargo box housing the Xeno and another container packed to the brim with Xeno eggs. Things are getting intense with the Xeno still lurking in the cargo bay, but Hayes managed to escape by sealing it inside. But here's where it gets more nail-biting. Those crafty facehuggers from Xeno eggs manage to slip through the vents and start impregnating the station crew. To make matters worse, another ship by the name of the Bentonville departed the station with yet another cargo of Xenos. If even one of those organisms escapes the planet, it's game over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Thinking fast, Hayes initiates a quarantine system known as the Cerberus Protocol. It's essentially an armed satellite system that locks down the station's orbit, preventing anyone from leaving or entering. But just when you think things couldn't get crazier, a Xeno sets its sights on Hayes. Lucky for her, a colonial marine named Sergeant Harper swoops in and saves the day, preventing Hayes from becoming a Xeno snack. However, in this chaos, another ship called Otago becomes collateral damage and crash lands on a planet called Lethe. Hayes and Harper leaves the Pioneer Station in pursuit of the Otago and set up a base there to take on missions. During missions, we can uncover who planned the Xeno attack on Pioneer Station and ultimately escape from the clutches of Lethe. In basic gameplay, we control a group of colonial marines. Our main job is to use them to finish mission objectives. Each marine gets 3 weapons, one as a primary, one as a secondary, and one as a special. We can choose which weapons to give them depending on the kind of speciality they have. In tough situations, we can also put down sentry guns wherever we think they will help. These guns pack a serious punch and can be super helpful when we are up against boss type enemies. So when we go on missions with our lower ranked marines, they will level up. Once they level up, we can promote them and give them specific roles like making one a sergeant as squad leader, a recon to use sniper rifles, a gunner to use heavy machine guns, a medic, or even a techie for hacking. Different marines can handle different weapons and skills based on their specialities. Now, here's the deal. If the enemies spot our marines, they will start shooting. So the game has a dedicated command button to give them orders, and all the available commands are right there in the menu. We can unlock new ones as we get better gear and skills. But here's the catch, you can't go overboard with commands because it uses up command points. If we run out, we will have to wait for them to regenerate. And as we progress, we will get more command points and they will regenerate faster. Oh, and by the way, we have the option to pause or slow down the game when we're using command menu. Once you get the hang of moving the squad and using commands, there isn't much else to say about commands.
That's combat.
We've got this heavy armored vehicle called ARC for transporting our squad and any survivors we rescue. The best part is that it comes with a big ass minigun to deal with enemies that get too close. It's a game changer for handling big threats that our squad can't handle alone. As our squad members successfully complete mission objectives, they will earn skill points. We can spend them in Otago to upgrade our squad. The noticeable difference that comes with these upgrades becomes evident right away in combat. However, the more our squad faces combat, the more stressed they become. When their stress maxes out, they start losing their marbles and their accuracy goes all over the place. So we need to manage their stress.
Those things are gonna come in here just like they did before, and they're gonna come in here and they're gonna come in here and they're gonna get us!
We can give them stress reducing pills or find places on the map with green house icon and weld the doors shut to create a shelter. Just be careful, welding doors costs valuable tools, one of the game's most important resources. So let's say picking spots with fewer doors is smart, because trying to rest in places where the game won't allow it, or places with too many doors to weld, can waste those tools. But resting allows us to lower the stress level of our squad. In addition to the autosave points, saves the game, making it an essential component. Even though we have all these gameplay features, Dark Descent's main focus lies in stealth. If we rush too much, there's a huge chance of our squad getting their asses kicked.
Hey, maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
In this game, enemies won't spot us right away. They take a little while to notice our squad, but when we are spotted,
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
when our presence is detected, the aliens start to hunt us down. Our goal is to stay out of their line of sight, and if we succeed, they will eventually stop the chase. Now here's what sets these aliens apart. When we eliminate them, this alien aggressiveness meter goes up. It means the aliens are becoming more pissed. Initially, these aliens are relatively calm like this.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
However, as the aggressiveness meter climbs, they become more like... As these Xenomorphs become more agitated, their hive sends waves of them after us. And if we keep pushing our luck, they unleash the big guns, the Category 2 Xenomorphs, aka Crushers. If this cycle continues, the game's difficulty level will spike, so the key here is to maintain maximum stealth. To avoid being spotted by aliens, we need to stay aware of their whereabouts. This is where the motion tracker becomes invaluable. It provides real-time information about nearby environments. However, it's worth noting that the motion tracker has a limited range. To expand our coverage, we can strategically place additional motion trackers around the map, but we mustn't get careless and start sprinting everywhere just because we have a motion tracker. There are hibernating Xenomorphs and alien eggs scattered throughout the game, so we need to be cautious with every step we take. Now, if you are aiming to enhance your stealth capabilities, we gotta promote one of our Marines as a recon as soon as possible. The recons can be equipped with sniper rifles, but we gotta make sure to attach a silencer to it. With a sniper rifle in hand, we unlock a useful command called Precision Shot. This allows us to silently eliminate most enemies with a single shot before they even notice us. This skill is incredibly handy in combat as it lets us take out threats without alerting others. However, it's crucial to maintain silence by utilizing cover and other techniques the game provides as mentioned earlier. Oh, if we don't...
That's it, man. It's game over, man.
Alright, let's tackle the day system in the game, and it's a bit of a love-hate situation. If we hang around in Lethe for too long, the Xeno infestation level goes through the roof, and that cranks up the difficulty of our missions with each passing day. It's like a ticking time bomb urging us to complete missions in record time. But here's the interesting twist. In Dark Descent, we have the freedom to bail out of a mission whenever we please. The cool part is everything we strategically place during the mission, like motion trackers or sentry guns, stays put when we return. However, there's a catch. We can't just jet back to Otago and instantly resume missions. Nope, we have to wait it out at least a day. So if we keep bailing out of missions to head back to Otago and give our crew a boost, we end up spending more time in Lethe. And that pushes the infestation level even higher, cranking up the difficulty meter. So it's wise to aim for completing missions in one go or at most 2 days.
Why?
Well, by the time we reach the boss battle in level, our squad is likely as worn out as a marathon runner at the finishing line, and they won't mostly stand a chance against a boss battle if they are running on fumes. Oh, and here's the kicker. The game dishes out permadeath. So if one of our Marines bites the dust, we wave goodbye to them along with all the upgrades and resources we have invested in them. So the battle cry here is to save our Marines at all costs, no matter how grim it looks. So choosing a breather is a smarter move than facing the worst. There's good news after we finish the second mission. Once the barracks unlock, we can whip those slackers into shape.
Fall in, people. Come on, let's go.
I hate this job.
This allows us to level up new Marines at breakneck speed even if they haven't set foot on the battlefield yet. So if our Marines from the last mission are still catching their breath in the medbay or seeking solace in psychiatric care unit, we can grab freshly trained Marine from the barracks. This means we can keep those missions coming in quick succession before the infestation level goes through the roof. In a nutshell, it's about finding that sweet spot, mastering the game's mechanics, and maintaining that delicate balance to ensure we live to fight another day. Exploration is a cornerstone in Dark Descent, and one of the most crucial aspects is using our flashlight. It serves as our trusty guide, highlighting everything worth searching for in the level. Without exploration, we are essentially in the dark, missing out on valuable resources. Resources are the lifeblood of Otago, necessary for upgrades and maintenance across the board. But there's more to explore than just resources. You will uncover valuable items like xenotech, medical supplies, tools, and ammunition. These items are essential for survival and progression. To uncover maps, unlock new areas by accessing computers, activate cameras for scouting, or even clear blocked paths by blasting them, you will need to have tools or ammunition in hand. So maintaining a good stock of these is crucial for your survival. And let's not forget the humans and synths.
You never said anything about an android being on board. Why not?
To keep Otago running smoothly, you will need to find and recruit important personnel like physicians and engineers. They play a vital role in Otago operations. Lastly, exploration isn't just about finding loot. It also helps you to identify the best escape routes for those movements when a swift exit is your top priority. Otago serves as the central hub in the grand scheme of the game. In the barracks, we can upgrade and train our marines, the workshop offers us the chance to unlock new weapons, or in the medical quarters, we can tend to our wounded marines, and for those dealing with trauma, the psychiatric unit is there, offering therapy sessions to help them recover. We can even experiment with Xenomorph parts collected from fallen Xenos, potentially unlocking new tech. While these mechanics may seem a bit overwhelming initially, the game offers a robust tutorial system to guide us through the process. If we stick with it, we are unlikely to miss any critical details. However, it's worth noting that this isn't a game to rush though. Its complexity demands that we take the time to grasp its mechanics thoroughly. Well, mastery is the name of the game here. Now here's the real issue with Alien Dark Descent. This game is, let's put it plainly, one of the buggiest games I have ever played. In fact, it's practically a bug hunt of its own.
What's the question?
Is this gonna be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
Regardless of how much I'm drawn to it, there have been countless moments when I've been on the verge of rage quitting due to its game-breaking bugs. It's an intense game, and it's absolutely crucial that the game mechanics function smoothly. So when they don't, it's an absolute mess. As in, some Xenos occasionally get stuck in a particular state even after they are killed, or you might find yourself trapped in an elevator because the doors won't budge. That's embarrassing, man. But you know what's truly messed up? When our squad members get themselves wedged into the environment. It's so darn frustrating because we might not even notice a team member has gone MIA while we are trembling in fear. I recall once where the game decided I couldn't take a breather in a safe room even after I welded all the doors shut. The solution? I had to unweld it and weld it back up to fix it. Welding doors requires valuable tools, and this little mishap cost me a handful of those. Well, talk about a bummer. And now, the cherry on top of this bug-filled cake is that our team isn't supposed to start shooting at enemies until they are spotted. However, after some time they decide to go trigger happy and blaze away at everything inside even before they are not just spotted. This not only wrecks our carefully planned stealth approach, this also needlessly ramps up the alien aggressiveness. Eventually I had to retreat to Otago, abandon the mission, and return just to iron out this issue. And as expected, this detour caused a whole new day to pass, which in turn cranks up the alien infestation level. Well, that's some real pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass you were.
As a tactical shooter, we shouldn't set our expectations too high in terms of visual quality, like what you might find in a first-person or third-person shooter. However, I found myself pleasantly surprised by the visual presentation in Dark Descent. Its 80s vibe is genuinely appealing. Notably, the Xeno designs and the animations were quite impressive, but I did notice a downside with facial animations of human characters, which felt a bit erratic at times. In terms of design, Dark Descent takes us to various locations, all of which authentically captures the look and feel of the Alien movies. Even upon zooming in, you can appreciate the substantial level of detail in both characters and environments. They have also gone the extra mile by incorporating subtle design changes in our Marines as we upgrade them. One remarkable detail is how the game handles the amputated Marines. The next time they are deployed, they sport a prosthetic arm, adding a nice touch of attention to detail. When it comes to the user interface, Dark Descent leans heavily on its UI, which may appear somewhat intimidating initially. However, it's crafted in a way that makes understanding all the UI elements quite intuitive as we play. The only minor hiccup I encountered was figuring out how to change the rotation of sentry guns when placing them. I even had to watch a brief tutorial to get the hang of it. As the story unfolds, a looming death clock begins to tick, urging us to complete the game within 30 in-game days. Well, I won't spoil the reason behind this here, as it's a significant part of the narrative. However, failing to finish the game within this time frame means starting from scratch. I don't have the luxury of investing another 30 or 40 hours to replay the entire game. The rationale behind this death clock might be to inject a sense of urgency into players. But what baffles me is that sometimes, even when every single marine in Otago is in perfect shape and there are no issues in the base itself, the game won't allow us to proceed on missions, regardless of the ticking death clock. Whether this is by design or yet another bug remains a mystery to me. The frustrating part is that it needlessly eats away at the precious time we have for actual missions. There was even an instance when it refused to let me undertake missions after a mere 10 or 11 days since the last deployment, and half of the death clock had already elapsed. I had to dig up an old save file and load the game multiple times to get it back on track. I recall encountering a somewhat similar scenario in Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, where excessive deaths resulted in an infection taking over. If you fail to complete the game before that, then it's done. However, that was much more manageable in comparison. But Alien Dark Descent expects players to be sharp during gameplay, but it always doesn't operate with the same level of precision. Therefore, in my opinion, it would be beneficial to grant players the option to enable or disable this death clock at their discretion from the launch. But as far as I know, they have incorporated this feature in the update it received last August. However, no matter how many issues it may have, the way the game progresses, its AI, and overall design makes Dark Descent an incredibly addictive experience. Despite any flaws, it manages to capture the true essence of the Alien franchise, both in terms of its music and visuals. Surprisingly, for a tactical shooter, Dark Descent delivers a genuinely terrifying experience. I found myself genuinely startled at times, and I even had to manage my own stress level along with that of my Marines in the game. So Dark Descent stands out as one of the few games I have genuinely enjoyed playing recently. I became utterly invested in it. Even though it's not a full-price game, it offers more value than many of the full-price titles currently on the market. Therefore, whether or not you are a fan of Alien franchise or tactical games in general, Alien Dark Descent is a game that's absolutely worth checking out. So that wraps it up for this video. Until next time, stay frosty, Marines.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.